Ladies and gentlemen, this episode will be a revealing episode wherein we have some news sources which tells you what exactly has been going wrong with Arsenal, why exactly is this turning out for the worse, and we're just becoming worse and worse every season. So we have some takes as to why this is happening. We're going to deal with that, so stay tuned till the end of the video. Why you'll get to know why Arsenal have made the signings that they have made, why exactly Arsenal's plan is not to improve now but in the upcoming future. Why is it? Who actually thought in this way? We're going to talk about it. But first, let's talk about Bernd Leno, who started his game for Germany in the World Cup qualifiers against Liechtenstein, and you can actually see Bernd Leno Riddle Baku linked with Arsenal. Germany won 2-0 with the goals from Leroy Sané and Timo Werner, and a clean sheet for Bernd Leno. And that's the first game in charge for Hansi Flick. I am expecting him to just blow up, man. I rate him as an unbelievable coach. So I think he's going to be superb. And more importantly, the whole media was talking about Charlie Patino, how Gabriel got a goal, how Lacazette scored a free kick, Cedric got 2 goals. They forgot that there was another player who actually had his first senior appearance for the club in that 4-0 win, and his name was Tim Akinola, joined from Tottenham, if I remember. He also played and really had a very good game. So nobody talked about it, nobody spoke about it as well. So weird. But I thought, why not share it with you? So Serge Aurier would consider a move to Arsenal after terminating his contract at Tottenham. Tottenham have confirmed it by a post where they are thanking Serge Aurier for his contribution in that Cock and Ball FC shirt. And the 28-year-old wants to stay in England, and Arsenal are one of the clubs that have been made aware of his preference that he would like to stay in London. Aurier would like he would not come in between if Arsenal are actually coming in for him. Free signing, that is the case, but Arsenal's next right-back player profile, Brook Norton Cuffy. At 17 years of age, Brook Norton Cuffy has cemented himself in Arsenal's under-23s team as a starting right-back. He can play as a right wing-back or right-back depending on the system. In 2020-2021 season, Norton Cuffy made 25 appearances, scoring once and assisting twice. While his strengths includes pace, strength, passing, crossing, work rate. Weaknesses, defensive positioning. My God. Bellerin in the making. Okay. Norton Coffey's weaknesses are mostly related to game time. After consistent game action at higher levels, he will mature and learn his position better. A kid who grew up as a winger still needs to learn the ins and outs of defensive positioning. That is tough, but okay. So he's got a really good attributes, Norton Cuffy. Let's see what happens. Well, that was that about Norton Cuffy at the moment. Moving on, so talking about more stuff, Mohamed El Neni will not travel with the Egyptian national team against Gabon due to a muscle injury he suffered in Arsenal training yesterday, according to the medical report received by Mohamed Abu El Ela, the Egyptian team doctor from the Arsenal club's medical staff. So it could be Thomas Partey and Albert Sambi Lokonga. And by the way, Sambi Lokonga started. He's made his first senior appearance for Belgium yesterday. Did a very good dribble, lovely, fantastic dribble, and that is great to see. However, Martin Odegaard was close to joining Arsenal. Did you know that Odegaard was close to joining Arsenal in 2014 when he was just 15 years of age? Former Arsenal youth scout Steve Morrow has lifted the lid on the club's unsuccessful pursuit of Martin Odegaard. So in an interview he says, I first scouted him when he was 14 and was just amazed by his talent, his technical level and his intelligence for such a young player. I put a lot of work in, scouted Martin for 18 months and got very close to him and his family. We had permission from Stromsgodset to invite the player over, and it was down to us in Real Madrid. We rolled out the red carpet. He met with Arsene. We took him out for dinner and really showcased the club. We had a holistic approach, not only developing the player as a footballer but as a human being and teaching him good values. We're going to learn how to cook, going to visit hospitals, do stuff in the community. Martin massively impressed everyone, including Arsene. We were very, very close to signing him before he made a late decision to go to Real Madrid. He did ring up to explain. That was a huge disappointment for me because I thought he was the right fit for us, and More importantly, the right fit for Martin. I was quite surprised at the decision he made because historically there's not many young players at 16, 17 who progress into the first team at Real Madrid. Arsene wasn't afraid to play those young players, and we felt that Martin could do that with us. But we've gone full circle, so it's worked out well. He ended up back at Arsenal, and that was a tough one. Wow. I mean, he snubbed Arsenal at a very young age, and look where he is now. Crazy stuff. Well, according to Harris Merconja, he says that Sead Kolasinat's injury is not as bad as first feared. He is expected to be back in action by the end of the international break. So it's not even really bad at all. So okay. I thought it was a very bad injury because the way he was tackled by Kunde, my God, I thought that literally ripped off something, man. That definitely was looking horrible, horrible. So Paul Merson delivered his damning Arsenal transfer verdict. He says, at the moment, Arsenal are the middle of the table. If they come 5th or 6th, I think they're pulling up trees. 10th is about right. They won't finish above Leicester, and they definitely won't finish above Tottenham after they kept Harry Kane. I don't think they would. Everton look organised with Rafa Benitez now. West Ham look decent. It's going to be hard. It's not a free ride anymore. So Paul Merson believes that it is going to be Arsenal is going to stay as a mid-table. Probably 10th is where he is generously putting us in that Premier League table. Well, Yves Bissouma and Declan Rice prediction made as Arsenal and Chelsea ponder January moves. Now this is some sort of problem that might arrive very soon, but former Premier League fullback Glenn Johnson is surprised that neither Arsenal or Chelsea made respective moves for Bissouma and Declan Rice. He says, everything is about timing, and I don't know how long certain players' current contracts are. Obviously, Declan's being linked to Chelsea and other clubs for a long time. But the one that surprises me is Yves Bissouma. I don't think he'd be astronomical money, and he looks like a fantastic player. Brighton can't turn down a bid that maybe the likes of West Ham could. I think clubs could have got him for quite a good business deal. So the biggest surprise was probably him. Ultimately, it would not surprise me if he and Declan Rice go at the end of the season. When talking about Saul, he says it would probably be someone like Saul Niguez at Chelsea, to be honest. You know what Instagram's like these days, all the clips are popping around of all the new signings, but he looks a serious player. If he can maintain that in the Premier League, it will be impressive, is what Glenn Johnson thinks. But he wanted Arsenal to get into Yves Bissouma. Now, let me tell you the most important thing that I first explained when I started this episode. Why did I say that? So let's talk about David Ornstein opening up about Arsenal. So David Ornstein says Mikel Arteta's promotion to manager was a thing that Arteta himself was in favor of. Clearly, there's been huge conversation about this, and a lot of people around outside Arsenal, close to the club, was a big mistake. Even if it was going to happen, you still needed. Talking about Arteta, he says a really respected, powerful operator, whether it be Sanyehi or someone else who can provide the shield for both the technical director and the head coach or manager, who can be the figurehead of that operation, who can front up to the executives, media, who can deal with everyone to allow the head coach or manager to get on with their role. So David Ornstein on Arscast says, it was the idea of Edu to build a young squad of this age profile, to blend them with world-class experienced players, to bring Arsenal, in his mind, to bring them back to the top of competition, domestic and European, in a number of years. When that was explained to Arteta, he was completely understandably in a bit of a shock. Anyone in his position when he became a head coach and then manager understands that you can't wait for tomorrow. Edu was trying to impress on Arteta that we can weather the storm. We're going to have some tough times. We're prepared for it to get worse before it gets better. I reported in 2020 that they're looking at the plan coming to fruition in 2 to 3 years' time. Well, it's the recruitment, and the recruitment has literally made sure that the plan is not now. The plan is 3 years later. The plan is late. You don't push for somebody to actually improve you right now. It will take time, and I just don't get it. What was the idea here? I mean, if you want to improve Arsenal right now, buy the players that right now will improve Arsenal. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The problem is Edu. Or I don't know. I think not many Arsenal fans would believe in what Edu says, or would want to believe in exactly what Edu believes in. But I don't get it. I don't get this strategy. It's... No. With this, I'd like to end this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you seek daily Arsenal content, best place to be. Consider subscribing. Cheers.